Something huge is brewing for the Houston Rockets as GM Rafael Stone has taken the necessary steps to go all in on Amen Thompson. And this could have major implications on what Houston looks like years from now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rockets Digest. I'm your host, Donovan Ricondo, and we appreciate you joining us as always. Welcome back to the channel. As always, if you are not yet subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on all of your Rockets content throughout the entire off season. This is the place for you. As today we're talking about Amen Thompson, who in many people's eyes is the future of the Houston Rockets. He is definitely the present, but he is also the future of this team. And what I'm about to show you is a huge indication as why that is. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about the Rockets timeline for their next marquee move, as that has become quite crystal clear. As Brian Windhorst of ESPN has noted on the network that the Houston Rockets have been adding contracts that either dip down or expire in the 2027 off season. It may or may not be a coincidence that 2027 would be the same summer that Amen Thompson would be eligible for a potential max contract extension. It's a smart move if you're Houston. You know that you have a pretty big window to win a championship right now, especially after adding Kevin Durant. The team was second seed in the Western Conference this past season, which is no easy feat. They have sacrificed a couple of rotation guys like Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, but ultimately worth it being that you have added Kevin Durant to your roster. And so this is a pretty genius move for Rafael Stone. And it all starts with the idea that Amen Thompson is going to be one of their marquee guys years from now. And that 2027 summer is going to be big in terms of Amen Thompson signing a new contract. Right now, according to all of this and what we've been seeing, they see Amen Thompson as their next star, right? Of course, Alperen Şengün is still in the picture, not throwing him to the side, but Amen Thompson is key to what this roster and what this franchise can be for the next decade or so. Amen Thompson is the guy that they are invested in. And so because of that idea, they have done everything possible to construct contracts that expire in the summer that Amen Thompson would be eligible to getting paid a ton of money. And so it's a very genius move for Rafael Stone. Great news if you're Amen Thompson, knowing that the pieces are now in place for you to make your money. So congratulations to him. But that's still 2 years from now. But nevertheless, we will see how all of that pans out for him. But to keep more lock on what this is saying right here, they're gearing up for a big move in the summer of 2027. It's an obvious title window for the next 2 years. But of course, if you want to have a title window from 2027 and onwards, it's all about investing in the right guys. And Amen Thompson is a guy who can blossom into something truly great. I mean, if you ask me, I see Amen Thompson, not verbatim, but a lot in terms of what they're able to do offensively and defensively, mainly defensively. The only thing offensively in this comparison I'm about to make that doesn't quite add up yet is shooting, which we'll get to more of in just a second. But I feel like this could be a very Kawhi Leonard-esque player for the Houston Rockets. Again, not with the injury prone, not with the the kind of shenanigans associated with him, but just in terms of play, right? Being a defensive stud that can also get it done on the offensive. And I see a lot of similarities between the two at this point in Kawhi Leonard's career into Amen Thompson's, right? Amen Thompson's entering, I believe, what is year 3 of his career, and he's doing a phenomenal job in improving himself. And that leap from rookie year to sophomore year was outstanding. Like Kawhi Leonard, there's a lot of compliments to his defense. And where Amen Thompson, I think, helps stack up a little bit better is his defense, as he's already kind of been thrown into the defensive player of the year race, right? Being a candidate for that and being on the second team, or I forgot it was second or first team defensively this past season. So he's already taken the steps to be that player and that much of a franchise, a face of the franchise for the Houston Rockets. And so I see a lot of similarities. And when I see that, and I know how great Kawhi Leonard is as a player for all his, what people call faults, I think is an awesome player. That is a huge deal for a guy like Amen Thompson, as always, for Rockets fans as well. If the Rockets are thinking about contending beyond the 2026-2027 season, it's very possible they're going to be thinking about doing that through the lens of having Thompson as the best player on the roster. There's a ton of room for him to improve his jump shot and all-around offensive game, and it's not a long shot whatsoever that becomes the case. So obviously what makes the most sense for Houston is getting ready to have plenty of cap room that summer. Not only can you negotiate a potentially big deal for your star, but you can also have room left over to bring in a high-level free agent that would complement Thompson and his reliable running mate. And I think that is the key to all of this. And what makes me so excited about that 2027 season, of course, 2 years away. But again, the best teams in the NBA plan. Yes, things happen. Yes, injuries happen. But to have a plan and go out and achieve it is a good thing. And you saw that with the Houston Rockets trading for Kevin Durant. A couple years ago, they saw that they wanted to get those draft picks that were Phoenixes from Brooklyn, just in case a Kevin Durant trade was possible. They went out, they got those picks, and long and behold, they got Kevin Durant. It's all in the long game for the Houston Rockets, and that's what they are constantly trying to do. Look, what is the long-term planning for all of these decisions? What should these contracts look like? And in 2027, to have Amen Thompson be your quote-unquote best player on the team, and to also have money left over to get himself a running mate, a new free agent in 2027. We could go ahead and explore what those agents are at a later date in that summer. But then you're looking at a brand new duo in Houston, right? A duo that is going to be probably one of the best in the league. Of course, right now you have or you have a trio of Şengün, Thompson, and KD, and Şengün, my goodness, I mean, he still might also be on the team in that time, and you would be having a big three. And so this roster, this franchise, this front office, they are making tabs of what they can have their team look like. They're finding the pieces that they want, and they're going out and making sure that they lock those pieces in for as long as they possibly can. And so that is what we're seeing with a guy like Amen Thompson. And I mentioned shooting, right? That's the biggest knock on Amen Thompson's game. Yes, his offense is a little stagnant, or it's developing, right? But it's not as great as it needs to be called that best player on the team. It can be better, right? But there is a bright side to his offensive game, and there's this one overlooked stat that puts Amen Thompson on the path to superstardom, according to this article right here. And Thompson, right now, he remains sort of a poor shooter. Still, it cannot be denied that he was a substantially better three-point shooter as a sophomore than he was as a rookie. He effectively, and check this out, he effectively doubled his accuracy, which is still a low number, right? His accuracy at three-point land is still not great, but when you consider the improvement he was able to make from year one to year two, it was outstanding. You doubled your accuracy. That is a good thing if you're trying to develop that shot. And it really speaks to the volumes of Amen Thompson as a player. The leap he was able to make from year one to year two was, one of the best in the NBA in terms of players going from year one to year two. The only other player I can think of that has had a similar kind of a jump is Victor Wembanyama, who was the first overall pick, which is understandable. He is a genetic freak. But anyways, that is essentially one of the main things I wanted to bring up about that. As a rookie, Thompson hit 13.8% of his .9. I would say round that to one attempt per game. He was a non-shooter. Those attempts came largely in garbage time when Thompson was taking an opportunity to experiment. And as a sophomore, he connected on 27.5% of his 1.3 attempts per contest. That is a vastly different territory. Suddenly, Thompson was willing to launch a triple if he was open. It wasn't an excellent first shot for Houston's offense, but it was an option. And again, that number doesn't stick out, right? It's still, not the best, but we can see that it is improving, and he is working on that to develop his game and make him more of the all-around player that he already is. And so when I see that in a young guy like Thompson making these strides so quickly, if I'm Rafael Stone, I'm thinking the exact same thing he is thinking. Like, we have to make sure that, yes, he improves from now until the summer of 2027. But once that summer comes around, if all things go according to plan, and we know he's going to be one of the best players at that time in the NBA, let's do everything we can to make sure that the contracts we have now either expire or go down in value by that summer. And that is the genius of this Houston Rockets front office. That is what they have constructed. That is what they have done. And all the pieces are in place. And now the ball really is in Amen Thompson's court. It's in his court to go out there and improve and make sure that he gets to where he wants to be as a player. The dominoes, they're starting to fall. And if they all fall right, Amen Thompson's going to be a really well a paid NBA player. I mean, they're still making a lot of money, but still, even more so than now. And ultimately, Rockets fans will be the ones to benefit, as they will be in better contention for NBA championships year after year after year after year. And that is where the goal is for this team, is to be in a spot where they can compete for a championship. Something that was not really a case for Rockets fans, for the franchise, for the team in the past few years, right? Besides last year being the second seed. But before that, it was kind of a thing where it was like, oh, we're not really competing this year. We're developing. But now we're back. We are back in that spot. We are back in that limelight. We've seen the opening day games. We're playing on Christmas Day. The Rockets are back in the limelight, and rightfully so. So I want everyone to let me know in the comments what you think the Houston's plans are for Amen Thompson, or how excited you guys are for this opportunity for the team in about 2 years. Again, a long time away, but still, you got to plan if you want to be one of the best teams in the NBA, and the Houston Rockets are one of the best teams in the NBA. For that, I'm your host, Donovan Ricondo. We'll see you on the next one of Rockets Digest. Take care. Adios.